The conversation be so great, but I'm like, did I record? Did I hit record? Did I hit record? He's giving game. I'm like, I can already like think I'm already seeing a damn social media post and everything. I'm like, what he's saying right now was literally what I need to post. And I'm like, did I record this?
Man.
My bad, bro. So go ahead. We
You
record
good,
now.
you good. I got you. But damn, I forgot where I was at. I was saying, I don't know, where was I at? I think I was talking about as far as let me stay here. Let me say this. As far as getting the information and being able to see that, okay, cool. Although I don't have all of this stuff right here, I may not have this insurance, I may not have, you know what I mean, whatever, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
I may not have the lawyer, I may not have the CPA,
Right.
or I may not have the relationship with the banker, you know, because, you know, banks have those small business relationship managers that's,
Right.
you know, that they do or they want to have those relationships with small businesses.
Hold up, bro, because I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So banks got small business managers,
Yeah.
and what are they? What are they for?
To work to bring other small businesses into their bank. Like our
Okay.
banks want more money.
Facts.
You know, they want
facts.
you to come there and do business with them. That's
sure.
why I switched my banks from the Federal Credit Union to First Citizens because
That's who we with, bro.
they have a
They really
relationship with the bank. And I met him at a function with the what do you call that? The Chamber of Commerce.
Okay,
And I said
okay.
I met it was him, and no matter of fact, it wasn't him at the table. It was the county manager, and it was another lady who I guess she was friends with her.
Okay.
And that lady, me and her sparked a conversation, and she introduced me to him and was like, "Y'all think you need to meet him?" And
Got you.
boom, I was like, "Yeah." And we started talking. He was like, "Yeah, man, just come to my office." And we started getting to know, you know, just
Word,
I done had,
nah,
that's
what's
what
up.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's again, man, it's more so just, again, it just goes back to getting out there, man, and the information that you don't know, try to figure it out. I mean, not try to figure it out, but ask questions. I'm a nosy dude, man.
Okay, cool.
I'm nosy.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask. What clicked or shifted that made you say, okay, if I'm gonna get these answers, I have to go out and get it. So like you said, we get intimidated by the red tape. A lot of black folk get intimidated by the red tape, and we use that as evidence that we shouldn't do it or as evidence that it's not for us. So have you always had that tenacity or that drive? What made it click like, man, I'm gonna have to go and get this?
I'm still working on it.
Gotcha.
Because of what I said earlier, G, like, at least in my community, we don't have too many examples of black-owned businesses
Facts.
who are in the space that we in.
Facts.
You know, we have a mom and pops. You know, we
Right,
have the
right,
corner stores, we have the mechanics, we have the lawyer. Like, we have those, and we don't got a lot of lawyers.
got a lot of lawyers,
But, you
facts.
know, we have the small businesses, but as far as professional businesses that's actually going to benefit us, we don't have too many
That's a fact, bro.
examples.
That's a fact.
Especially growing up in the 90s and stuff. In Statesville, North Carolina, or Iredell County, we didn't have that example.
And we still don't.
Nah.
For sure. Okay, that's making sense. So we had a winning entertainment here, and he was a label exec, and he was talking about he was just giving the local artists some game, and one thing that he mentioned was paying to play, and he talked about how, man, every move you make as an artist is a business move, and you got to see business moves as investments. So it's going to cost you some money. Somebody's trying to get into government contracting. How much of a financial investment should they be expecting to make in order to start getting into a government contract?
It's free.
Free.
Everything is free.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Everything is free.
Okay, so tell me this:
100% free.
Is it free to be competitive? Could you also be competitive? Because I see you wear a government contract shirt, bro. I done seen, like,
I haven't even begun. Let me say this: I haven't even begun to even try to be competitive. Like, I got a lot of, and that's why I'm speaking on myself, because I'm still, procrastination is a mug.
Facts.
You know, so even though, I know that I have a high level skill that a lot of people are like, they sought after the skill that we have. Let me say
bro,
that.
you
that we have.
motivating me to learn more about this shit, bro.
And so it's more so the business side of it, to where it's like, man, am I really gonna be able to handle these millions when they come in? Like, am I
Type
really gonna,
shit.
you know?
Okay,
So it's
okay.
like I gotta turn around and pay these people. Like, you know, transactions gonna come in and like, man, what if the government late paying me and like, what is that? And so my mentor, you know, he tells me all the time, man, Courtney, F all that, bro. Like, you gonna get, you know what's going on, bro. Like, yo,
Yeah.
just, you know, we gotta start making some money. You know what I mean?
Facts.
At the end of the day.
Facts,
And that's all
facts,
it is. We have to get out in front of ourselves and learn how to fail forward. You know, we'll take a hit and be like, man, I knew it. You know what I mean? I knew I couldn't do it, or we get in our own head instead of like, okay, that didn't work. What I need to do to switch it up.
Okay.
You know, so that's like I had to invest in software, you know, to where the software that I use, all my business calls or if I'm making cold calls or the ones that come in, all of them are recorded.
Okay.
To where if I'm making a cold call and I'm getting them no's, why the hell am I getting no's? Like, is it me? Like, is it my tonality? Like, how do I need to sound? And so we try to sit around and think about it, not having no system or nothing. So we don't really know what to work on. But when you can go back and, go back and look at what you done talked about to the last 10 people and listen to what you're saying or where you done messed up at, or maybe I need to tweak that a little bit next time, you know, and start seeing, once you do get a yes, now you can see, well, what did I say exactly to get them to say yes this time? You know, and then that's where you just get better. Personal development, you know, business development skills, like, I just want to always just try to do better.
Would you say it was losing? Would you say it was losing that ultimately motivated you? Did you see something that was like, man, because at some point you do begin to invest. You do buy you a software to make your calls more efficient. You do get with a mentor, and that's you have to pay to get into that community. So was that, what made you turn down that alley? Was it, I guess what sparked that? Was it you just lost so much, you had so many questions, or you were introduced to it and the mentor kind of like held your hand?
Yeah. I took a loss in a field that I probably shouldn't even been in, you know, and you know, trying to do stuff by myself and realizing in this space you can start by yourself, but once it, you know what I mean, it start going, you need to start bringing in other teams to make you go further than what's going on. You know, other people that enjoy doing what you hate doing.
Right.
You know, and so that's what made me bring in the CRM. That's what made me start learning about automations and start learning about how to put this stuff together and, you know, learning AI prompts and how to, you know, I needed to learn that stuff, you know.
That's what I was gonna ask, if how you leverage AI and if AI is helping. Is helping. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Especially now, it's done got even better.
Man. I went back on the and I was just on chat. You know, it's 1,000 different AI packages.
Oh yeah.
I was just on chat the other day writing a grant. And I was working on the ebook, a consulting ebook, and the information I was getting back, I'm like, damn, I'm learning.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, man. You can put that in there.
I thought I was just finna tell you what I wanted you to create for me. He's starting to act. They ask you questions at the end of each. At the end of each response now, like, would you like me to make this a bulleted list? Would you like me to give you videos and images the next? I'm like, what? Matter of fact, I would.
I need that. Yeah, for real.
Matter of fact, I would, man. Yeah, bro. So I did want to tap in with you a little bit, bro, on that, because, like I said, you've inspired me. You motivated me to learn more. I get some of these solicitations, and like you said, that red tape, it intimidates me. I'm like, man, we ain't ready yet. We ain't ready yet. So I just keep pushing it back, saying we not ready. But what I'm hearing is that go to these meetings, meet these people, reach out. And I can agree that when you reach out to people who are experts in a space, they're usually willing. They're usually willing to give you some game.
Especially if they winning already. Especially if they winning. And then another thing, man, the people that with these solicitations, when you submit solicitations in, that's how you figure out how to get better as well, because you can have the capability briefings and say like, well, why didn't I why, you know what I mean? Why didn't I win this? Or even if you did win, why did I win? Okay. It could have been like, man, you just had the lowest price. You know what I mean? Or you just had the better price. You know, but well, what about my technical skills? How was, you know what I mean? That's why you just figure out what's working, why they like it, figure out what your customer want, and cater everything around them.
So the worst thing you doing is not doing.
That's it. That's it. It's just
the
not
worst
doing.
thing you doing is not doing.
It's
Because
not
once you
doing.
start doing, you'll start learning. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, that's love. Bro.
Yeah.
That's love. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I follow you on Facebook, bro, and you be on their ass, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You be on their ass, and especially in this county, about our voting habits, community habits, spending habits, consumerism habits, all of that, bro. I definitely want to talk to you about some of that, man. I did want to make sure we got your company out there, but man, the thing, your philosophies, you come with facts, you come with data. So I also feel like people like that, I know I put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth because of the way I speak and how I come off.
I know I do. I know I do.
But I also feel like, man, with the right platform, man, black men, you need black men like us. You need black men like us that's gonna say what needs to be said. And we need our platforms. We need our voices.
Yeah.
We need our voices up. So, bro, we gonna transition the conversation for the last 20 minutes of the conversation, last 20, 30 minutes of the conversation.
Okay.
More about politics, social justice, economics, and business.
Okay.
I got a list of questions, man. I just want to get some of your feedback from you,
Gotcha.
and your thoughts. If you need some think time, because I know I ain't send you these prior to, like I said I would.
I got you.
If you need some think time, let me know, and I'll give you some think time. But the first one we're gonna do. Should the black community continue prioritizing voting for the Democratic Party, or is it a time to build independent political power or to vote elsewhere?
I'll say this. I believe it's time for black people to get away from the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Yeah, and not even go to the other side.
Facts.
Like stay in the middle.
Facts.
That's where I'm at. Like I am a registered unaffiliated voter.
Me too, bro.
You know,
Me
like
too, for sure.
whatever's going. If it's a Democrat over there that I see, okay, now you talking right. You know, and let's just stick to the county.
And bro, I think most of us are that way. Most black men are that way. But I will challenge that philosophy with this question. Are we making a difference as independents? And I know why we want to be independent. We want to be independent because men want to stand on, I don't agree with neither one of these. I don't like the way neither one of y'all doing this politics. But one from each team wins every election.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately, if you run as independent, the nation knows you just want to raise awareness about your causes. You're not really trying to win. You just want to raise awareness around what you're running for.
Yeah.
So considering that, our commitment to being independent is that helping or hurting us as black men, bro, because I feel like because we are mainly independents, it leaves black women in the Democratic Party, and then there's this disconnect between the real issues of the black family because the leader of it ain't in that party.
I mean, it's kind of tough to say, man,
For sure.
because I don't want to speak for black women. You know,
I got you.
I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't really know what type of stuff that they actually
Black
go
women love the
through.
Democratic Party, bro.
They love it though, and it's like to me,
They love that Democratic Party.
To me, it's like, and they know that,
Yeah.
and they utilize that to
yeah.
where it's like, well, all we got to do is just pander to the black women, and they gonna separate themselves from the black men.
Facts.
Because
That's a fact.
we have more of an independent thought on. We're not following or listening to the masses, even like, especially if the masses is on something else that we just not with, or gen population. Let's just say that gen pop. Like if we don't agree with that,
Right, yeah.
it should be okay for us to disagree with that.
Right.
And a lot of cases, that's where that friction coming at, because I'm seeing that a lot of women saying, well, no, you should agree with that because, or you black, or because it's a woman, or because it's such and such.
That's a fact. So my question, bro, is can we, as black men, lead our communities and not align with Gen Pop?
We can.
Okay.
We can. I believe the only way for us to really do that is if we actually show and demonstrate our strength. And that's not in like war or anything like that.
Sure. I got
That's
you.
in actual doing for one another, making sure that you in your kids' lives, making sure that you showing up to a certain event, whatever. You know what I mean? Like just actually showing, because it's there. Like I don't want to get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of cases, the data gonna tell you it's more black men that's marrying black women that they try to the media show you. It's more black men that's in their kids' life than they're gonna show you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like even the data gonna tell you that, but the media gonna paint another picture. You know, and so I believe it's going to take us, more of us, to realize that we are more powerful together than it is us going back and forth competing. You know, and I feel like the black women looking at us now, man, on some like that
Who is
we
these niggas?
Yes, bro. and I hate it.
Me too, bro.
I hate it, and that's why when I be online, I be like, see, y'all can't even really. This ain't you in person, bro.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And it's not even on no aggressive. It's just I don't believe that you can even stand, like you said earlier. You can't say that in front of a group of guys, masculine men that actually ain't like we ain't scared of you, bro, on no extra shit. Like, but we ain't trying to start nothing. But it's like, bro, I'm gonna speak for what I believe in. I'm gonna stand on what I believe in.
Yeah.
Now, if we in a disagreements with each other, that's okay.
Fact.
But if it's some way in that conversation you change my perspective or give me another, like, damn, I never even thought about it like that. I'm that person that's gonna say that, and I'm gonna let them off.
Getting that from the sister.
That's
bro.
It's too many dudes.
You gotta have your penis in them to get it from. To get that, you know what? To get the change, and I talk to my shorty about that all the time. I'm like, man, I'm lucky that we're intimate.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't get that honesty from you if we weren't intimate. Like we can have an argument, and my logical perception of the situation holds the most weight, and it actually influences her to think a little more logical. And if that happens, she'll say that, like, you know what, I ain't think about it that way. But now that you say that, okay, I can understand. I'm like,
I think it's deeper than that. I'm not even deeper than that. I think it's more simpler than that.
okay.
It's too many weak ass men out here, G.
Okay.
And these women see that.
That's a fact.
They see that. Ain't no way that you can convince a lady that sleeps with you every day, see you every day, that she really should goddamn be listening to what you talking about. If she see, man, that ain't you, bro.
That's
you know what I mean? So why the hell am I gonna listen to what you talking about? Like, you can say all of this stuff in this room, but when you get back home, your lady is the one that know you. You know, and so if she changed that perspective, she already know, like, okay,
yeah,
I can listen to him. I can listen to him. If she can't, then
so does that mean there's some truth? Now I know that they take it to the extreme, but does that mean that there is some truth to when they say a lot of men ain't worth following?
Yes.
So what I'm hearing is maybe women want to deal with niggas, so they deal with men out of force of habit, but then their frustrations come out on social media because the men that they're dealing with ain't living up to who they expect black men to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's almost like a pool of the same women that's on social media that look, act, speak the same way, and they going after the same type of dude.
Yeah,
it's the same type of dude. Like they all going after the same type of dude, and it's causing this same reaction for the younger generation that's coming up that see this. Like, okay, well, all I got to do is do this and get one of these bad ones. You know what I mean? Or this girl over here, this young lady over here. Oh, all I got to do is say this or act this way, and men gonna do this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like at some point we have to start taking personal responsibility on what we doing and what we putting out there, and we can't keep looking at it on a like somebody else doing it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah. If it's wrong, where your
if it's wrong,
compass at?
it's
Where your
wrong.
moral compass
That's
at?
it.
You got to establish a moral compass on your own at some point.
At some point.
At some point in time. All right, bro. Has the rise of conservative black voices in the media helped or harmed the broader black political agenda?
I think it has harmed. It still goes. It's a lot of weak men. A lot of those men that have this voice because of, this media stuff. If you look at them, a lot of them bashing black women.
Yeah.
You even got these Indians or these other people who ain't really black.
Who ain't even black.
Bashing black women.
Claiming that blackness, bro.
And I'm like, where's the black men that come to your, like, you don't invite black men on there that actually stand for something. It's like some of these men have this notion that because they make money, that they can talk to a woman a certain way,
Thanks.
they can treat them a certain way, or you supposed to be quiet and shut up because I say it so because I'm the breadwinner and I'm doing all of this. Yeah. And it's like, nigga, who are you? Like, what the hell do you mean? Like,
it's almost
that
like,
ain't how that go.
You giving, bro, the game you be giving, you gotta dig deep. You be giving some game, because what I'm hearing is the black man that the media highlights is probably the weakest black man out. But that is the black man that the black woman sees majority of the time because they on their phone. That's so that has become the standard.
Yes. That's why they men ain't this, men ain't that.
Because you seeing the weakest of us on your phone.
Black women. Okay. And then you see the NFL players, the NBA players
doing goofy
shit with the white women. Now I'm not do it to each his own.
Right,
but
right.
Yo,
but some of that should be goofy,
come on,
bro.
man. We can't keep doing this. And it's like every time you turn around, they not with a black woman. Mm-hmm. They not with it's something different going on. It's like, why are we praising these people? Why are we giving these people so many passes? Because of who they are, because they made it out the hood, or because they superstars, or because whatever. Like, I don't care who you are, bro. Like, if you wrong, you wrong.
That's a fact.
That's why I don't get damn starstruck when I'm in front of somebody. Like, bro, I don't
celebrity
give a damn.
Ain't credibility.
For real. I don't give a damn about you because you got more money than me, bro. You still can get your head blown off, bro. Just real, like anybody out here can. Like,
and then once you go to the top, man, and you sat at these tables, man, I've rode in the car with millionaires, man, and I've been at these tables, bro. You realize that a lot of them got they millions off of luck, inheritance, or a good play. Yeah. One good play. And we all waiting on our one good play. And we all waiting to get that one contract that put me up. I can't wait to get the grant that put me up forever. So I realized, like, bro, you just got that one little opportunity that put you up, and you was able to take that opportunity that put you up $250K, put you up $300,000, and you ain't that was your zero from that point on. You got a $300,000 check, and $300,000 became your zero, and now you just So if I get my check, that's the same philosophy I'm bringing to it, and I can agree that the weakest of us, especially our philosophies, man, get elevated on the platforms and in the media.
It's causing other black men, like younger black men, to look at this too. Like they following this stuff, bro. Like if you notice, man, this last political thing that just happened in the last year, and like Fox News, NBC, all of them, man, they getting 200, 300,000 views, and these other podcasts getting millions of views. and it's some of the, like, not all of them, but it's a lot of corny stuff that's going on, and it's being like, yeah, you right, black women's this, black women does that. And it's like, man, I don't know what type of black women y'all done been around, like y'all done seen, bro, because
a fact, bro.
The black women that I be around on they shit,
bro,
they love black men. And they take care of their kids. They go to work. They do what they supposed to do.
You know what I'll be interested in knowing? Who their sponsors are. Should we treat them the same way we treat the prisons? The same way we treat every other corporation, every other entity? That your sponsors is the propaganda, is actually the machine behind it? So you think about $1 million worth of game. They talk about their sponsors all the time.
Right.
Is it safe to say that because $1 million worth of game is getting more viewers than the TV shows or in the news outlets, we know that, say, who's they sponsor? Say Nike sponsors them. I don't know if they do. Nike knows that. So is it also safe to say that the messaging that comes from $1 million worth of game is the messaging that their sponsors want out?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say if it is
kind of hard to say
because
okay.
if it wasn't, they would go a whole nother direction as far as like their message and what they're doing.
Facts.
But speaking about them, I haven't seen them go any, But then again, I can't say it because I haven't watched them in a while.
Oh yeah, and the $1 million worth of game that was a positive. To me, that's a positive example of
Got you.
the messaging. So $1 million worth of game, to me, their messaging is about togetherness, bringing the community together, holding YNs accountable for that bullshit.
Yeah.
So to me, when I look at the companies that's sponsoring them, I think they support us healing each other, us healing ourselves. But so you look at a Red Pill podcast, Fresh and Fit podcast, you look at their sponsors, is it safe to say that these companies want us arguing? Because they funding a podcast where a black man is just arguing and downing black women.
Right there. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. I see what that. You would think so, especially if they still feeding. If they still feeding it. Now, if they cut off the feed, like, man, that ain't what the route we want to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But if they still feeding and you still saying the same thing to where it's causing friction between black and brown and yellow people or whatever the case, like y'all love that shit. Y'all love to see that. That's what drama bring views.
That's a fact, and that's what I was gonna say. The other perspective, I guess, or the opposite perspective would be the market dictates.
Yeah.
So
everything. Yeah.
The court, and from that perspective, it would be the corporations are just buying influence.
It's money. Like marketing is a big business.
Facts.
And it's marketing everywhere.
Yeah.
And if they know that these two or this podcast can grab 50 million views a month.
Do you care about that?
I need to get in there.
Do you care about that?
I don't give a damn about the message. I need to get in there. Here go 10 million.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
it don't really matter.
It don't really matter at that point.
It's making me money. And I know the majority of people want to get in this game to make money in the podcast. They want to, you start a business to make money. Mm-hmm. You start a nonprofit to still make money, but it's more so on a giving back type thing, compared to we here to make money.
Facts.
And that's
facts.
it. So
and considering if the market dictates, bro, and I'm gonna keep going deep because you're taking me down a rabbit hole. The market dictates, meaning corporations ultimately respond to the masses, right? Mm-hmm. The evidence is showing that we like conflict, we like fights, we like sex, we like a bunch of low-level stuff because that's what's being feeding us and that's what's getting the most viewership. Is that evidence to how sick our society is?
Yeah, in a sense, man, it is, man. I mean,
to the degree that it is what drives the market, sex, drugs, vices is what drive the market, bro.
It's always been around. You've always had whorehouses, like dating all the way back to the biblical time. You always had it's always all this stuff always been around. It's just been named different.
Yeah.
The money done changed a little bit different. Yeah. The access to it is different now with the help of the internet. Yeah. Everything is almost at the palm of your hand. Porn is at the palm of your hand.
We get desensitized quick.
Real quick. So somebody getting killed by a police officer or somebody getting killed down the street, whatever, it really doesn't it's easy to be like, oh man, I'm sorry that happened, but what such and such got killed last week because of the same thing. So like you said, it desensitizes us from actually realizing like, man, we living in a a not so good
Right.
in not so good circumstances.
And then, bro, like even when we get our a little pieces of power, man, we talked about red pill guys, bro, and when they do get a microphone, when we talk about black men with microphones. When black men do get microphones, they do get enough money to rent out a studio, rent some microphone equipment and some stuff like that. What do they decide to talk about? And I would say for every $1 million worth of game, there is 5 fresh and fits.
Yeah.
So considering that for every $1 million worth of game where they actually on there trying to give some level of healing to the community, there's 5 out there reinforcing that bullshit.
Yeah. That's what they want to talk about. Like, it's easy to start a podcast and get on there and get your feelings out and let other people, and I guess market to people who have the same ideology as you.
Yeah, and I think, bro, we make it easy, bro. Like, the market is making it easy to sell low-level shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I've had to start, but see, also, they say this algorithm and all of this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to even speak on it. But what I do know, if I make the conscious decision to start unfollowing pages that it ain't nothing but booty shaking, okay, I won't see that a lot. Yeah. I start unfollowing pages or stop liking pages or posts that, you know, I'm wasting a lot of time just looking at this type of content. If I take the conscious decision to just stop following that stuff or stop liking it, I don't think I would see it. You know,
I'm gonna have to say, bro, you gonna see
just get off
ass shaking. You is listen.
That's the crazy. And
I see ass every time I get on this app, bro, and I don't even follow. I don't like no ass shaking videos. But if I start scrolling, you know how you will see the for you.
Yeah.
It's always ass, bro.
Yeah.
I try to like deliberately like the personal development stuff. Try to deliberately when there's podcasts and people talking positive. I deliberately, you know, at the bottom they say, "Did you like this post?" I'll let a post play 5 times so the message will come up. Do you like this post? And I click yes, and they still feed me cheeks, bro.
I think it may go along with what you said. Like, if they know they may goddamn, he may like this.
He probably like
he was looking at this 5 years ago. Let's try him again. You know what I'm saying?
You probably like these.
Yeah.
And
this for you. You know what I'm saying? No, bro, but I haven't drank in years. Why you gonna show me something? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, that's
temptation. There's a
bro, it has the I think you're gonna like this one. Has the emphasis on social justice. Activism created a culture of victimhood, or is it necessary for systemic change?
Yes and no. Yes and no. And I'm going to say, I think we're going about it wrong.
Okay.
When it comes to the activism and actually trying to systemically
right, for sure.
change something. We have to, like I said before, man, we don't have enough organization or the funds to go to war with the system.
That's fact.
So the only way to really hurt the system, we have to start going out the pockets. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, man, let's just say, and I don't never want to go through no situation, man. So I'm gonna knock on some wood or anything like that. But I look at a lot of situations when people run into cops and stuff like that, and you know, even all the way down to traffic stops or whatever the case may be. I'm a firm believer that if I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong. But gee, if you in the wrong and you violate my rights, I'm a firm believer that you really shouldn't be in that uniform. And for me to get around that, for me to make sure, I found out that, okay, well, we got to go after them surety bonds. Because if I go after your bond, because, you know, police officers and all of them, they got to sign bond. They got to be bonded to be in the police academy.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so if you go after the insurance company that is insuring the police department, that's how you shake shit up.
Yeah.
Like
they gonna start remaking law.
Then they gonna start complying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they gonna have to start going having more trainings for their people. Or when the city start getting these lawsuits, then something's gonna have to change. You know what I mean? Either we're gonna have to start getting more people in there who actually are unbiased or are not bigots.
Fact.
Or who actually applies or stands on the very laws or the codes or what do you call it? The Constitution that you swore an oath under. You know, that's all. I don't care if you green, G. Like, what did you swear an oath to protect and uphold? Now, just because y'all work together and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about none of that. You swore to protect the law, not the blue or the green. If your partner's in the wrong, you in the wrong. They need to be held accountable.
Yeah. Do you think Black America, our communities, do you think we're equipped to attack financially?
Yes, because we have... man. We spend a lot of money.
Okay.
We spend a lot of money. And then there's organizations out here that's specifically for that. There's Black lawyer organizations that are specifically, it's a nationwide thing to go after civil rights cases all across the states. You know, but we don't utilize those things. Like, we want to go to Jesse Jackson. That ain't what we need to do. We want to go to the NAACP. That ain't what we need to do. There are lawyers that are specific. I can't think of the name on top of my head right now.
I know you're talking
but
about.
they are specifically for,
I know you're talking about.
you know, I mean, civil rights cases.
Yeah.
You know, we don't utilize those people because a lot of times, and the majority of the times, we don't even know that they exist.
They don't know. Right.
But why would the enemy tell you? This
Listen,
is how
you got
you
a safe line. You got a safety net right there that's gonna help you get the money that you need.
Why would I tell you that?
I wouldn't take it.
Why?
That's the fact. So what I'm hearing, man, is we protest and we do these things as activists for social justice and change when we should just be suing people.
Yes. The United States is, it's paperwork.
It's paperwork. It's
a lot
corporation.
of paperwork.
Yeah, we put all
I'm
that
suing
sweat.
you. I don't like. I'm suing you. The city. I'm sorry, but I'm suing you. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And your the police department and your sheriff department. It's as simple as that.
We gotta spread the word. About
That's
that.
the only.
That's the only way, bro.
That's it.
And all the crowdfunding sources that we do, like I think about all the people that'll pull up to a spot to protest and to boycott some stuff. But if you could just donate $5 toward the lawyer fees,
this is what we going after.
We're gonna
What's crazy? All this is public information.
Yeah.
You can find out go to your city, go to whatever city that you live in, and you can find out what insurance company is insuring the police department. You know what I mean? And it's going to literally show you what insurance company that holds their bonds. That's who you contact. They have a point of contact for stuff like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they are liable for this stuff right here. You can't just go out here and just, violate people's civil rights. And this insurance company is insuring you. They're going to drop you. Especially if it keeps on happening and it's millions of dollars.
$1 million. You costing them money.
Yes. Even though the taxpayer, it come out the taxpayers' pockets initially for that city, the insurance company still insuring these people. Right. So they either gotta get rid of that officer 9 times out of 10. That's why if you notice when a lot of these officers get fired, they just move over to the other county.
Right.
That's because nobody messed with their bond. Nobody messed with their surety bond. That's once you get that bond to where they can't even be bonded anymore.
Nobody wants to insure them, so you can't even put the badge on.
You can't even put the badge back on. Gee, you just like us now. You know what I mean? Even though you really work for us, that's why I be so passionate when I be online, because I really firmly believe that, bro, I will sue you. You know what I mean? And it's as simple as this. Simple as that. Like, I don't care what type of guy, like what sympathy you think you have, or I'm not about to have no empathy towards your police officers or anything.
See, the stop snitching thing got us messed up. That's what's really the reason why we don't want to go into the court system.
Yeah.
That's the reason why black men don't want to go in the court system and
Nigga, I go to court,
exercise their rights as fathers. That's why we won't sue no companies or sue nobody that wronged us because of this stop snitching.
Stop snitching. What? The cops might even call. Oh, you gonna snitch on us? You damn right.
You damn right.
And I'm recording you right now. What's up?
I want my money.
You know what I mean? All this stuff is public information, man.
Sure,
like, we just have to take advantage of it, man. And like you said, stop being scared to actually go after the snake. You know, it's as simple as that. If it could be all the way down to some of these cities have black sheriffs, black chiefs, black mayors, black attorney generals for the state. Like they have it all the way up, and ain't none of them really doing anything because we have this notion that if it's a black person in there, we don't want to get them up out of there because they looking out for us, and it's like. In a lot of cases, they not. When you look at a lot of these cases, man, these arrests and all of that stuff, like I seen the other day on Facebook, even though they got ran into, I'm like, damn, the black officer was way more aggressive.
Man,
than,
I seen that. I say, boy,
sit your over there, get your fuck back. I was like, damn.
He love his job.
Yeah.
I say, why
and
he
the white
so
man
aggressive?
sitting there just like, you know what I mean?
It ain't.
It's like, damn, bro, like, okay, you got me, but why you gotta talk to me why you gotta do this part? Why you gotta do this to us? You know, and then the first thing they want to do is try to cover it up or make it, he didn't mean it like that. Yes, he did, G.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He did for sure. Bro, yeah, I got a bunch of good ones.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do,
I need to charge up my phone.
Okay, should black community continue to push for buying black? Has it been effective in closing the racial wealth gap, or is it just symbolic and moral victories?
I think it's more so the latter, symbolic and moral victories. Because I had one of my mentors, man, had to made me think of another perspective because I was always in my mind like, but I would prefer to buy black. Right. But when we put this notion in front of our business, black owned, black owned, black owned, black owned, it pushes away everybody else who welcomes anybody. Like, yeah, you can be black owned, but why do we gotta why do we have to promote that this is a black owned thing? This is a black owned establishment. Like Starbucks. No, let me say, let's say Red Lobster. Everybody know Red Lobster is owned by some Caucasians, but right now, currently, it's a black CEO who's actually running Red Lobster.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we wouldn't know enough. We wouldn't know none of it. I feel like we think that just because it's black owned, that black people have to support it. You know, even if we don't buy the product or we don't support the product, we have to support it.
I think, bro, what I would say is we think that if it's black owned, it won't survive if black people don't support it.
That's kind of like what I was saying. That's kind of what I'm saying.
And I don't think that's true.
And that's not true at all.
That's true.
That's why, like, yes, you could please have a black-owned business, but it's like you're supposed to be welcoming everybody for your business to thrive. Like everybody know it's a black-owned person, right. but who's to say that you can't have a white secretary in the front or have a white CEO who can run this business better than you, and you just the owner and the founder, and a CEO who don't look like you is actually running this.
It goes back to that thing that 50 Cent says. I watched an interview with 50 Cent, and he talk about not coming off like you need something.
Right.
The best thing to do in business meetings and to close deals is to not come off too needy. Right. And I think putting black owned comes off needy.
Yes, man.
Because we expect that we take that word black owned like a sob story.
That's the word. Like we looking for some sort of sympathy.
Like who gives a fuck?
Don't care. Yeah, that is like cool. That is black owned. Like we need more y'all. We need more of us. But
why are you telling me that?
Why are you telling me that? That's where in this space, and one of my coaches, man, / mentor, Hamza, he was the one was one of the ones that had to change, not my perspective, but it made me look at how people be presenting their business. Right. Like, I'm a woman-owned business, or I'm a what? Like, what you own women? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're a woman-owned business? Like, they started out like I'm a black woman-owned business. You know, I'm Hub Zone certified. Like, okay, but what do you do? Like, what is your business? You know, for example, like we a consultant. We do business development and we da-da-da-da.
Bro, but is that us tokenizing ourselves?
Yes, man. We trying to make it seem like we have to throw that out there first instead of telling them who we are. And
I think we throw it out there first because we know that there ought to be a place in their heart for us. because of historically how we've been treated. So I think we say that stuff because, again, like you said,
I can see that too.
we trust less in the product and more in the sympathy of America that America has shown to black people. So we lead with I'm a black-owned business as opposed to I got the best tasting barbecue sauce you'll ever taste in your life.
Facts.
And that's because we don't really believe we got the best tasting barbecue sauce.
Facts.
We believe that our barbecue sauce will sell because it's a black-owned business.
Black-owned business.
And there's a sob story might be the wrong word to say, but that's the best word I'm coming up with, is that it's an excuse to not be excellent.
Or an excuse to not have your books in order.
Come on, bro.
An excuse to not have a CPA, have a
bro.
lawyer. I'm telling you, G, when I was awarded my first federal contract 60 days, 57 days after I really was like, come on, let's go, and got into it. But I was so like, damn, I actually won it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Where it kind of was like, well, wait a minute. I don't got no lawyer, even though at the time I really didn't even need it, but it was put in my head that I need a GovCon lawyer, I need a GovCon CPA, GovCon, boom, I need all of this. So I kind of halted on just keep going with everything, keep putting in solicitations, keep going out these opportunities, and all of that stuff after you get past a certain point, that'll come. Like all of that's going. And so where it's like, man, we get ahead of us. We get in front of ourselves
in our own way,
man. Every time,
in our minds, we get in our own way in our minds. Yeah, bro. All right, bro. I'm gonna get one more, man.
You good, Jay? You good? I ain't tripping, man. You good? You good? I want to put. Let me see. Can I put this in a little?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure.
Is this a charging port where I can put this?
Yup. You sure can. Here you go, bro. I can't do. You can use this till my laptop should be charged. Oh, it wasn't charging this whole time.
Dang.
Oh, it was charging. It just got a lot going on.
Okay, maybe that's what.
All right. Here's another one, man. I always talk about black people's capacity to love and how our capacity to love oftentimes manifests in the jobs we choose, in the businesses we choose to open. But America doesn't always support this capacity to love, and America supports capitalism. So I come with this question, says, should black businesses focus on high-tech industries, or is there still value in the traditional businesses like retail and services? Black people, we want to sell clothes, we want to feed people, we want to clothe people, we want to help people grow their businesses, but there's this growing tech space, AI, in this tech industry that's booming. Should we be encouraging our young to get more into that tech space? We encourage our young to start businesses, but we ain't really encouraging our young to jump into the tech space.
Oh yeah.
Is that something strategic we should be doing to close that wealth gap?
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Like technology companies are, for example, coding.
Right.
I believe that it should have been mandatory for us to learn how to code in middle school.
Yeah.
And so with that, like cybersecurity, all of that stuff, man, we kind of, as far as on a massive level or a majority level, we get left behind in that stage, man. Or
do you
in
think,
that
bro?
industry.
Damn, bro, you be having me thinking, man. Does the black community's lack of patriotism affect how successful we can be in America?
Man.
Can you really be successful in a place you don't want to be?
I don't think so, because it's messing up your psyche.
It's fucking with your mind,
man.
bro.
You
can't really be successful in the place that you don't like.
And see, that's where I come. That's where I love it here, man.
For sure.
I love the United States, and it's because I've been to other countries.
Okay.
You know what I mean? While I was serving in the military, and
Yeah.
a couple of countries outside of that, but
Gotcha.
I've seen how you can't do or say some of the things that we can do and say
Right here. Okay.
here. Some of that stuff will get you killed. Some of that stuff will get you in prison. You know,
Facts.
you can't do a lot of that
Facts.
stuff. Like
Facts.
you can't. And in a lot of cases, these people have nothing and still high kicking every day. You know, like I've seen kids in Africa or from Africa, like Ethiopia, that's living in poverty in Dubai though, but still like not living in huts, but living in like they not, you know, but they still doing. They work in circles around us.
Facts.
You know,
Got
like
you.
they do actually work.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, and I feel like with us, we take it for granted. And we think that just because the United States has this history of slavery and we want to blame everything on Europeans. We want to blame everything on Europeans, and we gloss over or completely forget or don't say anything about what we did. You know,
yeah.
At some point we have to get past the pain of what we did first. Like first, them Caucasians didn't just come onto the continent of Africa and get us.
Right.
You know, there was several tribes that kidnapped, pillaged, raped our own people and brought our own people to the coast of Africa and started selling them to South Americans, to Mexico, and actually sold them to a lot of black people that owned black slaves as well in the United States.
Right.
You know, so at some point we have to understand what happened to us. Like we don't know our history. I think that's a lot of our problem too, man.
bro.
Like we don't know where we actually come from.
And
like,
I was gonna say
we don't know that part.
And that's a bit that to me, yeah, that's a big disconnect for
Yes,
us,
man.
because
Yes. Yes.
I believe half of us ain't African American.
Half of us already here.
Half of us are just
Yeah.
Americans.
We were the Native Americans.
Native Americans, yeah.
They want to
half
say.
of us is Native.
Yes.
We look, and you can tell. I mean, you can tell a black person from Africa and a black person from America.
Even today.
They
Yes,
look different.
man.
They look different in the eye. They look
the
different
nose,
in the face.
the
nose,
cheek.
yeah, all
like,
that is.
Yes.
It looks different. You made a point about us pointing the finger and making excuses. And I often say, man, we've been here long enough. We're native to this land. We've been here long enough to know the game. So you can complain about the game. You can complain about the game, or you can learn the game. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm like, man, white people ain't that hard to deal with. They're not that hard to have a conversation with. They not. If you get out your own way, it's really not that difficult. And I believe it would prove a lot more effective for us to learn them the way that they've learned us.
Yes.
Than it is for us to try to change the way they are.
That's why it would, man. If you really look from what I've gathered, we were, as a people, black people, we had more businesses, more lawyers, more people more families, more communities, black communities.
Right.
Before segregation ended. It was something happened in the 60s, G, that changed the trajectory of what we believed in when it came to us as a community. I don't know when it's 50s, 60s, something changed in there to where we felt like they owed us something instead of having that conversation to figure out how can they help. We grew up. A part of that was their response to our success. So we did have our own cities, we did have our communities, we did have these things. Oftentimes, it wasn't met with positivity from the white community. Oftentimes, it was met with war-like behavior from the white community. So that's why we have this notion that y'all owe us, because you enslaved us, then you freed us. When you freed us, we
built some dope ass shit,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
came and messed it up.
Still had white people that was, but it wasn't all of them though.
Yeah, it wasn't all.
That's why I can't like. I have to judge a person by their character, just like what Dr. King wanted people to do. Like he wanted you to judge a person by their character and not by the content of their, their skin color.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I can't just walk down the street and think that every white man is goddamn looking to hang me, even though they got a history of hanging niggas.
Facts.
But
Facts.
at the same time, I'm a firm believer in the big God, man. So if that's it for me, then that's my time,
And I also don't think that.
It's not as bad as people trying to make it seem.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you don't not build the tree house with your brother because he kicked your blocks over when you was 8.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? When you was 5, your big brother kicked your blocks over. You like, I built that. I was proud of it.
Yeah.
But now you're older. He's grown. He's
Yeah.
been chastised by the parents. You've been chastised by the parents. Y'all have grown. Y'all should be older, wiser, and smarter. Now he has an idea. Hey, let's go build a tree house. You don't say, man, you remember when we was 5, you kicked over my block.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck you and your tree house.
Yeah.
You probably go outside and build a tree house with your brother.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's kind of how I said. I'm like, we can't. Yeah, they kicked our blocks over when we were 5, 7 years old.
We rebuilt most of them damn buildings that they kicked over too.
Right.
Like Tulsa, like we rebuilt that shit in like 3-4 years later.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
a lot
For
of these cases we rebuilt it. But my thing is, G, if America was really as violent as they try to make it seem, G, it would be crazy out here, man. But you don't see it's not like
Right.
that,
It's not
man.
like that, for
but
sure.
it's created to think it's black against white, Republican against Democrat,
It's
independent
created
against and it's like, bro, like you said, if we was to really sit down and have a conversation with a Caucasian, 9 times out of 10, we have way more things in common.
Than we got it.
Then we got, you know what I mean? Then we don't.
Yeah,
you
that's
feel
a
me?
fact. That's a fact.
We all living in this same BS. You
Yeah.
know, we just see it in different perspectives. You know, they may have very well been raised by a bigot uncle or a bigot father.
Mm-hmm.
I respect a person who stands on their morals and principles. And now let me explain why I say this. We don't know what being a real racist is. You know, and I had posted this a while back. Like, a racist doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. You know, you supposed to want to see your race be first in every damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hire your race when you start a business first. That's what you want to do.
That's a fact.
You know, you anything that you got going on, you want to see your people, the people there that look like you. That's what you want. When you take your money or whatever, you got the money and you investing in something or whatever the case may be, you want to see your people first.
I would say that's prejudice and discrimination. Racism to me is.
I'm about to get to that. I'm about to get to it. That's more so preference. You know, when it comes to me being in position to where, let's say I am a principal at a school, right? Or I sit I'm on the I sit on the board for ISS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also may be a school principal as well. So I got a lot of power. You know, and I also don't really like black people. That's the part that I hate, especially when you got counterparts that's next to these people that know you as personally and know you as an individual, but do not say a damn thing about it. Don't elect to get you out of there.
Right.
They literally just let it slide.
Right.
I'm not with that shit. That's the part that I hate.
I got you.
Now,
I'm with you.
If you in a position, that same position, and it's not about your race, it's not about you know, you white, and yeah, I would like to see some more white teachers in here, or I would like to see more black teachers in here, but the quality of white teachers that I've been getting, they ain't up to par, so I may need to go look and see what these black people looking like, or these Latinos looking like. Same thing if it was a black person in that position. I would love to see more black women teachers or black male teachers in these positions, but the quality of them, they ain't there. So what the hell am I supposed to do? Every time I try to hire somebody, it's, they got this crazy background. But in this case right here, let me say this. I don't like what's going on in our school district. you know, and I'm seeing this stuff and I'm like, man, y'all some bigots for real, bro. Like, it's not even about racism, right? Like being a racist. Y'all have people in these positions that do not like black people. Yeah. And you have other people that's their counterparts that's there that know this. And either they scared to speak up on it because they don't want to lose their position, right, or they just scared to speak on it because they don't want to lose their position, bro. Like,
that's really all they got is a damn vote.
That's it. Like you like what is it really that important to know that you sitting beside somebody that can't stand you, but you so scared to speak on it because you don't want to lose that position.
Because you don't want to lose your vote.
No, man, I don't care about none of that. This dude is a bigot, and all y'all need to know this stuff. You know what I mean? This is what he did. This is what he said. We don't need to have this stuff. I believe we show too much mercy, bro. We show, as a black people, and
that's why I talk about our capacity to love. And
it circles
mercy,
back around to, because the majority of black people are Christians. We have this Christian mind, and it's not. I'm not saying anything
bro.
against
We play Christians better than the people who taught us Christianity.
Taught us it.
They taught us Christianity, and we better Christians.
And we better than they are. And it's like we can't continue to show mercy to the individuals who continue to slap us in the face. Fact. We can't keep turning the other cheek.
Because what happens, bro, when you do that, you lose the power in being able to discern the good from the bad.
Exactly.
Because it's some good white folk and there's some bad white folk.
If
you turn your cheek to all the bad white folk,
never gonna know.
You will start thinking all white folk are bad. You gotta hold the bad white folk accountable so that you can understand you ain't them, because I'm on their ass. I'm holding them accountable. And you ain't them. Same way with niggas. You gotta I'm holding niggas accountable. That's why I talk about my kind of people and not just my people. Because my color of people ain't always my kind of people. Some people I'm holding accountable regardless of what color you are.
Fact. Man, G, I love black people, man. Like, I love being a black man in America, in this world, G. Like, I wouldn't want to be any other race. But the thing is, I know for a fact, G, that we can do better. Like, it's not enough black men out here that's willing to die for what we believe in and what we stand for. It's not enough of us. It's enough
of us, bro, but we just believe and are willing to die for blocks and neighborhoods as opposed to causes and movements. So we got a bunch of YNs and we got a bunch of black men who are willing to die for what they believe in. They just believe in bullshit.
Correct.
They believe in some goofy shit that got them running up and down the block, killing each other,
man.
As opposed to organizing and coming together with each other. I agree that our capacity to love gets in our way.
Yes, man.
It gets in our way. It also clouds us, and it prevents us from playing the game. It's almost like, man, when you playing Grand Theft Auto, when you playing Grand Theft Auto, well, back in the day when you was playing Grand Theft Auto, some people would turn the game on, and as soon as the game cut on, they immediately putting the codes in. They gonna get their $1 million, they gonna get all their guns, they gonna get the house. Boom, 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 boom. They got the sheep right there waiting for them, willing and waiting for them to use it.
Yep.
Some people go in and like, okay, I'm gonna just play the game, and then when I get the police, then I'll just use that code to get the police out for me. But I want to play the game fair for the most part. And then there's some people that's like, I got the codes, but I ain't gonna use it. I think majority of black people are okay with being the last two examples. We don't want to turn the game on and immediately put the codes in so that we can get ahead. We much rather try to be fair, try to play by the rules. If something bad happens, then I'll try to call a lifeline to get me out of it. When that ain't how America is built. America is built by waking up, turning the game on, putting them cheat codes in, getting that million, getting that house, and then taking it from there.
My mentor, Travis, Dr. Travis, shout out to Dr. Travis, man.
One time.
He is the person who told me how to cheat in this game. And this is a millionaire, dude. Like, and he runs $1 million business. I ain't gonna call him say he is a millionaire because on paper, you know, he know how to do it to where he broke, But
his company is worth for. Yeah, he got control of the million.
Control everything. Control what he say. What he say? Own nothing. Control everything.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
that's how he got it.
Yeah.
But his method, G, is to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what sense does it make to want to start from the bottom when you can take examples from other companies who doing the same thing as you?
Shit,
You know what I mean? Like, why? Why do that?
Why would we do that?
Like, why?
Black people think it's some more glory in the
it's like,
struggle,
I got it
bro.
out the mud.
I got it out the mud.
Why?
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 It's a street right there. You could just walk down the street.
I
It
don't-
was some bikes you could have
you feel
rented, but you had to run through the mud. You could have just stepped to the side and rented this bike and got down the street a whole lot quicker.
I don't want to get it out the mud,
Right.
G. Like, I want somebody to tell me the cheat code. Like, I want you to give me the let me get the key to the key to the elevator to go all the way to the penthouse. Like, I want that card that everybody trying to push the buttons to go.
I think
but,
we mad that white people got the cheat codes, bro.
And they willing to give it to they other other people. You know what I mean?
But
or
the
they
thing,
friends.
what I've learned, bro, white people willing to give it to you too.
You
You just got to be their friend. White
Gee.
people got to like you.
They gotta like
and
you.
that's what black men aren't willing to be liked by white men. So we don't get their cheat code.
Gee, and let me tell you, I believe that's where. I think that's the part when you were talking about change. That's the part that changed. That's the part that hit me in the last, I want to say 3-4 months, to where I said I have to change that part. I have to, and again, shout out to Dr. Travis. He told me this shit last year or maybe 2 years ago. I gotta play the game.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get in there and you
That's
gotta
a
get in there and
fact.
shake hands. Like, you got to.
Edification,
To get in there.
white man. That's what I be.
You have
white
to.
men love edification. If you on stage somewhere, they love when you can
Yes,
talk
man.
big about them.
Yes,
when you
man.
can make yourself
Yes.
sound humble. And you,
Yes.
I know I'm the shit.
Yes, man.
But when I'm in a
Yes.
group around them, bro, I'm like, I'm the most
gotta
humble,
give it all
laid
in
back,
him.
and I'm like, these guys,
it all.
if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be
Yes.
here. If it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't
Yes,
be here. If
man.
it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
They just love edification. And I will say, this is where black people get it messed up. And this is what I've learned in this city is that dealing with white people is a lot like dealing with your girlfriend.
Explain that. What you
So
mean? Explain that.
I feel you're better off being yourself, so you know if she really like you.
Oh,
or not.
okay. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
around-
yeah.
Like she
okay,
gonna
yeah,
show you
yeah.
if she like you
Yeah,
or not,
for sure.
but you gotta be your.
For
like
sure,
if you
for sure.
fake it,
Yeah.
she can manipulate you
Yes,
faking it, and then
sir.
she can own the emotional space, and she can use certain tools to make you feel uncomfortable in the space to make you feel like the relationship is unfair.
Oh, yeah.
like she's always winning.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are die hard yourself,
Yes.
you will know. You know what? You wouldn't even be fucking with me if you didn't like me because I'm 100% myself, and
Everywhere.
I ain't trying to front in front of you.
Exactly.
That's what I've learned.
Exactly.
if you are yourself, just like you would be with your shorty, you give the white man an honest chance to like you.
Yes, man.
And when
Yes.
they do
Yes.
business with people they like.
Yeah, that's it. No, like, and trust, man. That's it. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust, man.
for sure. Yeah.
And it's like, with that though, I like that analogy right there though. And it's like, I learned that about women in my 20s.
Gotcha,
To where it was
gotcha,
like, I never thought I was the finest nigga in the
Right,
world,
yeah.
but I was always able to get women. So it was like, you ain't gotta do no lying. You ain't gotta do
got
none
a lot
of
of
that.
these-
They either gonna fool with you or they ain't,
They ain't
gonna
gonna
fool
fool,
with you.
right,
So
right.
I'm the goofy, funny,
Right.
not goof, but I'm the funny,
Right.
goofy person everywhere. I'm the I can be nonchalant, I can be laid back, chill. I'm that same person in every room that I'm in.
Right, right.
You know, I don't try to act a certain way just because this fine ass girl up. Man, have you seen my baby mama? Like, have you seen something like
Right.
Come
I
on,
always
bro.
had to pick it.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
another one from the
You
list.
just
Like, I
another
could've
one.
picked you if I
You
wanted.
feel me?
Right.
Or just like
sure.
how these people be going gun ho over these celebrity women that's bad. I'm like, man, only reason why if you had the money,
Right.
you can, you know
Right,
what I
you
mean?
could afford
That's
her
the
too.
only that's the only separation. That's why I don't, it like again. I feel like we as black men can show a little bit more pride in being black and show a little bit more pride in these black women.
I like that.
Because, bro, it is some beautiful, and I'm not talking about looks, beautiful black women out here, man, who really want to love a black man. But there's so many black men that's out here on these podcasts or out here that's the face of us who are embarrassing us right now. And they making us look weak as hell. It's like men would rather, and this is not, man, and this is not to say anything about nobody married or anything like that, but it seemed like black married men don't run their household. You know, it's like whatever the wife say, I'm going with it.
Right.
And it's like, what, bro?
Because y'all making marriage look bad. Y'all make my generation not want to be married. And because it's like, you not even running it.
See, I'm seeing it like, as I get older, I'm like, man, marriage is a beautiful thing, really.
Yeah,
if you really a man that's really
standing on your square.
Standing in your square and really handling your business.
Facts.
And you really taking care of the household. Like, she really can depend on you. You know, or these kids really can depend on you. Like, that ain't, we don't, it's out there, but the faces that's being pushed in front of us, that ain't what we seeing.
Facts.
We seeing a lot of bad shit. We seeing a lot of weak shit. We seeing a lot of men that would rather talk bad about women. Like, damn, nigga, did you get pussy? Like,
at all?
Do you get women? Like,
a lot of that is that, bro. A lot of that I feel like is that, yeah, man. It's like the people who got money ain't flashing it, and the women and the men who got women ain't putting them on podcasts.
Put them up. Hey, yeah. It's a lot, man.
If you getting women, you're not setting them down and having conversations with them on podcasts.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? So the men who are that red pill shit that got these guys putting women on podcasts, I just automatically think you're not getting any women. So you have to hire women to come in and have a conversation.
Yeah, to have a conversation.
Because I'd much rather talk to men. I'd much rather sharpen my iron with another man.
Yeah.
And then lay up with a shorty and be intimate with a shorty.
That's it.
Behind closed doors than to be on the podcast in front of a camera arguing with the shorty. That's
like, that's kind of weak to me.
A lot of weak to me.
Like, why are y'all even having this conversation? Like, what's going on? Like,
why are you doing it? You know, women fall in love with what they want to hear anyway. So
yes.
Is you really just using this to try to get in their pants? Because you know women fall in love with what they want to hear.
And we have a lot of black men that have some good mouthpieces, G. Like, dudes can really talk. And there's some smart-ass black men. But their sole purpose is to try to smash this woman.
Smash women.
And so it's like,
when I was younger.
Yeah, and it's like, if they are, like, they doing it, and it's like, man, why you letting her get away with that, bro? Like, why? Like, come on, why are you letting her say that on there? Like, okay, you cool with her, you can be respectful, but you can still check somebody who you know. Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all, like, these men, most of these men, just, it's like they want to have sex with these women, and they're allowing the conversation to go against their morals or their values or their principles, for the sake of it. For the sake of trying to be on that good side. Trying to, because you know how men can be. We could, especially when we was in our 20s, like, you could be very tactical to get a woman. You know what I mean? Especially
if she's willing enough to open her mouth.
That's it.
Boy,
as soon as you tell me, for example, you tell me you like seafood or you like flowers. That's all I need to know. Nigga like me, if I really want you, I got flowers at your house every day. Facts. I'm like, you want lunch? Here you go. You know what I mean? Lunch.
Women gonna tell you their formula.
That's it.
Because they want to be caught. Because they want to run away and but they want to be caught at the end of the day. They're gonna tell you how to catch them.
That's it. Yeah. And a lot of them ain't really gonna be running or nothing like that. It's more so like, let me see what he is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me see where he at with it. Because they gon', man, I'm telling, I love black women, man. Like, they gonna spin a bag on you if they fuck. They gonna tell you the truth.
That's a fact, bro.
You can confide in them if you got a woman that you can really confide in, and you can really trust, and you know, you can damn near treat her like your best friend. That's the most beautiful thing that you can have, man. And actually be open with it, you know, not dumb to where it's like, now you're not gonna play me. You feel me? But I trust this woman. I don't have to worry about anything with
Shout out to my black woman, man, because I feel that way, bro. I feel that way. I feel that
shout out to that black woman.
When you got somebody, and I feel the same way about, it's crazy because I made that analogy at the beginning of the conversation. That's the same way about white men. The two of the best relationships a black man can have in America is with a black woman he can be himself around, and a white man he can be himself around.
Especially, yeah. Living in this capitalist
Live-
world,
living
what,
in
in
this
this
capital, if
country,
you can't
like,
have somebody that,
yeah.
because the white woman, I mean the black woman, if you got a black woman you can be yourself around, she gonna love you and make you feel like a king.
Oh, yeah.
If you got a white man you can be yourself around,
Oh,
he
yeah.
gonna love you and put you in the room,
Facts.
put you in a position.
Facts.
So yeah, that's
Facts. Facts.
Since
Facts.
I've had that, my life has been smooth sailing. Since
Right,
I had a
man.
shorty, a black woman in my corner who believed in me, who I could be myself around, life got a whole lot easier. I had a white man, a few white men in my corner that I can be myself around, and they like, man, you one of the smartest men I know, and it ain't you one of the smartest black men I know. I talked to a guy in private equity who made his first million at like 17. Tells me he was up what 34 million at 27 or something like that. And we on the phone. He's like, man, I like talking to you. You one of the smartest guys I know. He don't say you one of the smartest black men I know.
Right.
This one you want, and all I am is myself around this guy.
Right.
I'm just myself. So that's also opened up my eyes, man. If you be yourself, give people an honest opportunity to love you and accept you for who you are. That's when things start opening up, man. We are at the hour and 30 minutes, bro. We could talk about this and be talking. You know you my homie, bro. So we can literally and we ain't touched but 3 of these questions.
Oh, yeah.
So we definitely gonna have to sit down again at a later
yeah.
date, man, and do an
sure.
episode 3 or something like that.
For
Because we
sure,
got our
for
episode
sure.
1 out, episode 2.
Oh, yeah.
And we gotta sit down and do another one, man. Thank you for tuning in. If you've tuned in, we'll definitely push this out. Make sure you tap in with GovCon with Court, man, if you want to learn more about how to get into government contracting. Maybe you're a business who hasn't tapped into government contracting, but you would like to contract with the government and do some work with the government. You want more information on how to get in, or you want a liaison, a consultant that can get you connected with these solicitations. Make sure you communicate and contact GovCon with Courtney.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And this is again,
Appreciate
man. I'm
that.
11. This has been Wisdom, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out.